What's up everybody, welcome to Money Management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on natural gas prices.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed, born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And in today's video, first of all, I will show you where we are on a price chart and how we get there. Then I will continue with the fundamental news that might drive the price of this asset. And at the end of this video, I will share my thoughts and my technical analysis. And I will show you what should we expect next. So, I made my previous video right here, right before this movement to the upside. And right here, I've told you that despite quite high levels of RSI, at hourly time frame, it was at 83.17. We have another chance to hit higher targets because we didn't have any bearish divergences on multiple time frames. And as you can see, it happened. And right here, as you can see, we have the top of our second wave. And we hit exactly the same range, and this is the invalidation point, because if we have this structure to the downside as completed structure, we probably might have this is our first wave, second, and we are forming the third wave. But if and this second option is still on the table, if we have this type of price action, we have the bottom of our third wave to the downside right here. And we can count 5 waves in it, and the next top might be right here, the top of the fourth wave. And as long as this price section didn't break this previous high, we are still in the position that we might have this as a fourth wave, because the structure is clearly, we can count 3 wave structure in it. And definitely this might be still on the table with the next major leg to the downside. But the closer the price goes to this top, to this previous swing high at $3.38, the less likely it will be this type of breakdown. Most likely we have completed all 5 waves to the downside, and right now we are forming the movement to the upside. And I have to say that previously I caught a lot of movements of this price section of this asset. From the beginning of April, we booked more than 50% of potential profit. The majority of trades was on the bull side. We hit 2 stop losses, and then they brought us about 6 and 6.5% of potential losses. And we had one trade from the bear side. We caught this movement to the downside from this top, from this swing high to this swing low, that brought us about 23% of potential profit when we hit this range of support. And that is why you can rely on my technical analysis as a part of your due diligence. But definitely you have to do your own due diligence first of all. So, and let's continue with the fundamental news. What main news might be the catalyst for this asset for upcoming days? Let me show you this article. It was published on June 16th, and it's titled "European natural gas prices are on rise." And let me quote you this. Bottoming out in early June, European spot natural gas prices have been on the rise ever since and are currently flirting with the €40 per megawatt hour threshold amid Norwegian supply disruptions. Even though Norway's Hammerfest LNG export terminal has solved its leakage issues and is set to resume loadings this weekend, maintenance at gas processing plants in Nyhamna and Collins is keeping gas flows kept. Above normal temperatures are expected in most of northeast Europe through the upcoming month, with the daily peaks well above 30 degrees Celsius, 90 degrees Fahrenheit, which should also boost the continent's cooling needs. And definitely this news, on top of the news that I covered previously, if you click right here, this news is still in this list. Europe natural gas skyrockets as Norway outages extended to July. And previously we had 3 deadlines that was set on June 12th, June 13th, I guess, and the middle of June. But then we have another extension, one more extension on the major deadline. From mid of June, it was postponed to mid of July. And definitely this news that implies lower supply for LNG definitely drove the price of natural gas higher. So, and that is why we have to react on the markets. We have to react on the market. We shouldn't predict it. Every time we have the fight in between bulls and bears, and we have the game of probabilities. We have certain outcomes that have the highest probability instead of other ones that doesn't have it. And that is why we have to rely on certain signs, and we have to keep that in mind, and we have to keep in mind also the completely different opinion. That is how professional traders work, and that is how you should set your thoughts in order to be a successful trader. So, and let's continue with the technical analysis, but before we dive deep right here, please subscribe to my channel, hit notification bell and hit the like button. This helps me a lot. So guys, one of my viewers asked me how we can have 5 waves to the upside with the 5 waves to the downside. Basically it is a very good question, because in theory we have to have 5 impulsive waves to the upside that follows by 3 waves to the downside, 3 corrective waves. But let me show you that this C wave should have a shape of 5-wave structure in it. And right here we have to have this type of structure. And right after that we have to have 5 waves to the upside again. Right here to break, to set the new tops. And right here we have absolutely the same pattern, but if we invert it, if we invert the scale, we had the movement to the downside, we have an ABC correction to the upside, and these 5 waves follows by another 5 waves. And let me show you them in our price action. We have, this is our A wave, B and C wave has the 5-wave structure, and then we have to see another 5-wave structure that will be the beginning of next downtrend. And definitely for now it is too early to make any assumptions which way we might see a breakout below the $2.27 mark or above $4 mark. But in general I have to say that for now we have quite interesting price action, and let me show you how we can handle it. So I don't need these tools, and let's focus on this price action alone. With the assumption that we completed 5 waves to the downside, and with the assumption that on a bigger scale we are in downtrend, this movement should have an ABC correction, should have an ABC shape, and the last wave, the C wave, should have 5 waves in it. And right now we probably already formed it. If it is the case, we probably formed or about to form this 5-wave structure, and if it is the case, we have to see the rollover. To prove this theory, we shouldn't break this top, we have to see the next leg to the downside, and if it happens, definitely we should see more negative news regarding the natural gas prices, and if it is the case, we might see the movement to the downside. On top of that, let me remind you that in a matter of just 4 days we will see the split 1-4-20, and this action definitely might be the trend reversal, and the trend reversal point might be either way. If we will have another extension in the 5th wave, if we will see for example the movement to the upside and we reach this point, most likely right after that we will have a trend reversal. Or if we have this movement, if we have formed this top, the next leg might be to the downside, and this movement to the downside might stop exactly at this point, and we might have the 3-wave structure right here, and the next movement might break again this previous top. Definitely, for now, it is quite difficult to make an assumption on a slightly bigger scale, but in general, my main counter is on the bear side. We have to unload this structure that during last week brought on the table about 40% to the value. And let me remind you that BOEL is the levered ETF based on natural gas prices. And this means I highly recommend you not to enter your long position, but definitely you can accumulate your short position with anticipation of this movement to the downside, or you can buy some puts. And the price target to the downside might be, let's assume, the most conservative one. Let's assume that we might hit about $3 or $3.15, which implies, if it is the top, which implies about 6.4% or 10% of potential profit again to the downside. If you don't know how to manage properly your short position, I highly recommend you not to enter any of them. Just wait for the confirmation on the bull side, and I think we will see it very soon. So I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel with notification bell, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gone live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you.